Hi, my name is Chef Eileen with Aroma's Boutique Bakery, and I am pleased to announce that once again we were awarded Best of Weddings by the Knot Magazine in the wedding cake category. We've won this several years in a row, and we are a part of the Knot Hall of Fame, and there are many steps to getting here. One of them is by learning to bake the perfect cake. So how do you bake the perfect cake? Take, for example, the devil's food cake recipe that I teach in our virtual cooking class. It is a combination of cocoa powder and leaveners, sugar, coffee, butter, oil, and of course, eggs. Now, how do you bake the perfect cake? The first thing you need to do is prep all of your ingredients. You want to have them all set out. That way you can check them against your recipe. The next thing you want to do is sift your dry, just like this. You want to make sure to get all of those ingredients, dry ingredients, combined, just like that. This is going to help you make sure that your flour is nice and aerated and everything is combined. So sift those, combine all of your wet ingredients, and then I have my sugar separate. So the next step in baking the perfect cake is combining them in your mixer. Then I got my mixing bowl, and you want to follow the recipe to a T. I always talk about baking being a science, right? And so as in science, your recipe is your formula, and you want to follow it. So for our recipe, the dry ingredients go in first, and then the wet ingredients. So here go my dry. Show you how that goes. Just like that. And I'm going to give them just another mix to make sure they're nice and incorporated. Next, I'm going to throw in my sugar. And like I said, no recipe is made equal, right? Like, so all the recipes are a little different. So follow your recipe to a T. So there go, all of my dry ingredients are combined, and then in go my wet ingredients. Clean as you go. That's a great tip. So all of my ingredients are in here. We're going to mix it. And you want to make sure to start slowly so you don't get all the flour and the oil or butter flying up at you. But you also want to make sure that you don't overmix it. So you've got to be patient, follow your instructions. For mine, we're going to go ahead and hand blend it. It can be made with a hand mixer. It, of course, can be made with a hand blender. But as with all of the recipes in my virtual classes, I never know what our students have on hand. So I start with something basic like hand mixing. Okay, so once your ingredients are thoroughly mixed, you want to double check that your oven has been properly brought to temperature, right? To make sure you have an oven thermometer. And then you want to measure out your batter and pop it in the oven. And at the end, you should have a perfectly baked devil's food cake. Now here's the deal. I know that sometimes you just don't want to bake, and that is totally understandable. And that's what Aromas is here for, right? Sometimes you have a gift to give and you want to give something to someone that's really delicious. Sometimes you're celebrating a special occasion. Right? Maybe it's your first anniversary and you need a replica of your wedding cake. Sometimes you want to get all your friends together and cook something. And maybe you'll want to join me in one of our virtual cooking classes. By the way, we have a chocolate lovers class coming up this week and a cupcake lovers class. So if we can help you in any of those capacities, just remember that Aromas is still here for the moments that matter most. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. By the way, you can reach us at aromasboutiquebakery.com or chefeileen.life.